Hello, it's Sharon from Be Divine Vintage. I'm here today to show you my bohemian, a little bit shabby, a little bit chic, vintage style fairy journal. And I hope you're going to enjoy this flip through with me. It measures, she says, with a ruler that's missing numbers. It's 4, 5, 6, approximately 7 inches by 9 inches. And yep, it's quite an alligator mouth. It's showing at just over 3 inches, but once it springs open, because you'll see it's much more than that. So it is tied with this lovely sari silk and sari silk ribbon, and underneath that we have a vintage tray cloth. You can see it's been a hand embroidered tray cloth. We've got some vintage lace, which I've hand dyed. We have this is a modern trim with these roses on. And let's just slowly open this without it just springing all over the show. We have, and there it goes, these hand-dyed vintage appliques, which are off a vintage wedding dress, and some more hand-dyed applique. So without further ado, let's have a look inside. So inside it says here, I do believe in fairies. Now this is the front of an old book, a vintage, it might even be an antique book, with children on following the Pied Piper of Hamelin. And this is actually your writing board. So if you were going to write on a page, for example this one, you need to put your board underneath so that you can comfortably write on there, because it is chunky, monkey, and sort of page sizes are all different. As I'm going through now, I'm just going to pin in these little trinkets. Because as I got ready to film it, I realised I hadn't, well, no, as I started filming, I realised I hadn't popped them in. That's a little tiny, just make that a bit bigger. That's a little tiny unicorn there. This is part of that hand embroidered tray cloth. And then I've just done this stitching on the top of it, just to make it a little bit more bohemian style. So that fits in there, and it says, I do believe in fairies. Do with putting something under there. Just let me get another book just to help to support it. Let's do this. Let's put that under there and do this. There we go. So here we've got an altered paper bag, and on here we've got a stamped piece of muslin. We've got some different mixed media items, a tiny little envelope with a tiny little letter in there that does come out. That letter does come out. You have to, well, you can see it moving there. It does come out. That's a letter from the fairies, or to the fairies. And in there we have got a journaling card. On the next, so that is the sort of the bag folded in half. So that's like half of inside of the bag. On this page here, we've got this lovely stamp, this vintage style fairy in a sort of Cupid doll style. And we've got 3 tags. I love this little fairy asleep there inside the pansy. And that's backed onto this antique ledger paper. We've got 3 of those. 2, that's on lined paper. And this one will be backed onto some more fairies there. That one's backed onto some different lined paper. We've got an envelope here, which I made. And it's a fabric envelope. And in it, we've got some paper for you to write on. A little tag there that says Faye. It's got some hand stitching on it. And it's embossed fabric. We'll just put that onto there. Click. Oh, this is an vintage paper. It's got some little floppy-eared bunnies on there. I know people leave things out, but I like to just put things back as I go along. We have got here, oh, this is a little pocket. So in there we've got some coffee tea stained ledger paper. And again, a little bit more ledger paper. There's some printing on muslin there which says make a wish and a little fairy. Here is some pattern paper that I've previously fixed together with some pressed flowers inside. You see the pressed flowers in there. See, you're getting all that book on there. And that has a lovely, not only does it look beautiful, vintage sewing paper, pattern paper, but it sounds and feels nice too. On this page is just a mixed media page, but there's places for you to write. And the next page again is gesso, so you can write on there. Here we have got a page to write on. That's 2 sides of coffee stained paper. And in here we've got a tag which goes over the top. Oh, it's a very large altered paper clip. Let's just pop that in there. With these mixed media butterflies that do pull up because they're sort of on springs, so they would pull up should you want them to, like that. But whilst in the book, and the book is closed, they are just pressed down. And in here, holding this, you've got a shelf tag, again with some paper inside to write on. It's a pretty shaker tag there. Pop that in there. Back in there. So that's the other side of the paper there, and the other side of the tag. And we've now got again a thin piece of, when I say thin, a narrower piece of this is card, and we've got a little pocket here with a fairy on that's like, I can't remember the word for this. Is it decoupage, when you get layers so it stands out? We've got the fairy, the vintage style fairy stamp, and a little journaling card in there. On the other side of that, we've got this pocket with a vintage Royal Horticultural Society postcard, which matches this little, this is a little playing card here, and in there is another little tag. So that's in there, and this is in here. And pop another of these on for you as I go through. My mum will be saying, come on, come on, come on now, come on. My mum's likes to go at things very fast. Let's just put that little pixie in there. He's hanging there. Right. So on this side, we've got a journaling card, which I've just folded over. It's an Edith Holden with a ticket and some stamping and some fussy cutting, and then inside we've got more fussy cutting over this vintage coffee stained paper, and that's on this narrow piece of card here. And we've got the fairy stamp there. Some more coffee stained plain paper. I've left these pages just completely blank because you need the pages to write on. Here we have a cute, rather cute shaped paper clip, and we've got a vintage The Box Tree fairy from the Flower Fairies. We've got this gessoed page with the stamp of the vintage fairy, and that just fastens onto there. Oop. Can't get it back on now. There we go. So again, we've got some gessoed graphics here which you can just write onto, and here is just a little piece of paper with some leprechaun on that one, and that just goes there. So again, that's more journaling space. We've got a little journaling card here, and what's happened here? Oh, it's stuck. I can sort that out. We have got I only put that on this morning, so it's obviously just caught on this side, but I'll sort that out. And there is a little pocket here, which did, as I see, it did have a little something tucked in, which would have been this cheque. So this is a copy of an old cheque from 1951, which I've printed over the top with some paper from Wine Dot Arrow from the fairy tea party. That goes there. So I will remember to come back to that page just to sort that out. Oh, this isn't the other half of the bag, and in there is another little tag, full of tags and pockets and tucks and all sorts in here. This lovely journal. Here, just got a little bit of collage, and we've got a fussy cut of a fairy. Journaling space. And here we have got a side of a bag, which is a pocket, and this lovely tag, mixed media tag of this fairy is in the pocket. But you may well have noticed that there's another of these tiny little envelopes in there, and again there is a little tiny letter inside, those little magical fairy letters. There's some diamond glaze on here. It says your charming smile there, sari, vintage trim. This side is a piece of, what's it called? What is it called? It's a piece of, don't tell me, it's a piece of dictionary paper. Dictionary paper. I knew I'd get it. I knew I would get it eventually. That's just lifted a little bit. It's just lifted a little bit. I'll just put that in to remind me. And again, we've just got a little tucks. We've actually got a little belly band there, so I need to put something in there, so that will remind me to do that as well. It says, oh, human child, run away, oh human child, it's to live with the wild fairies. This opens up, and here we've got another little fabric envelope with a little piece of ephemera inside there, and that is just onto there. And then we've got this fairy here, and this is part of a vintage Dolly's dress, which I thought looked very much like a fairy, something I might have worn to a fairy ball when I was a little girl. Well, I might even wear it now. Let's just pop that on there. That's some little magic toadstools. Again, some mixed media. I have to keep checking because I can't quite remember all of my pockets. Here we've got a male fairy, you see there, and there's a little tiny pocket here with a little tiny tag envelope there. We've got some more of that vintage garden fairies. We've got a little pocket there. This is a vintage, and it's a little bit raised with forget-me-nots on. That is a Magic Yeast Cakes. That's from a vintage advertising card. We've got a handmade Miss Harrison's biscuits there, and we've got another envelope here. And here, you can see through that, is another pocket. I need to put something in there. We've got a little pocket here with these little sort of fairy kitten and a bunny in there. In here, do you know, I've been looking everywhere for this envelope, and there it is. In here, we have got a waxed envelope. There's fairy tales behind there. Do you know, I'm going to put that in there. Rabbits in there. And here is the other half of the fairies, vintage paper. Behind here, there is another belly band, and there is, it's tucked in here with this lovely pussycat printed onto fabric, is another little mixed media card. It's done on a time card. Here we have got another Royal Horticultural Society vintage postcard and some little tickets in this little pocket here. We've got another postcard, and then here we've got paper to, it's old ledger to write on. Just fold that. Here I did a snippet roll, and then I've folded it to give this ruched effect. We've got, this is an altered envelope, and underneath the mirror, not the mirror, the opening of the envelope where the address normally shows through, I've put some butterflies. It's actually closed off, it's not a pocket. We've got another envelope here with some paper inside, and that is fastened on with this lovely sari silk. Some journaling space. Here we've got let's see, 1, 2. So there's these like stepped pockets here, and there's a fairy in there, and another fairy or garden nymph in that one. Some journaling space, and that sort of backs onto more journaling space. There's a little old tea bag in there. We've got another little pocket here with the other side of a bag, of which I've put one of these mixed media, oops, sorry, like over here showing you this mixed media tag. And then we come to the back page, which it says handmade by Be Divine Vintage, and some more of these sort of pieced together pieces of the original tray cloth, so I didn't lose any. Everything's, the whole tray cloth is there. So I hope you like this journal. I've really enjoyed putting it together. I'm going to go back and visit those couple of, this little bit where for some reason I've not put things in the pockets, but I will do, and I'm going to do that now. So that will be a surprise for whoever gets this journal. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you've liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye bye.